Hi, class. Thank you so much for working with me and letting us do this class asynchronously this evening or this afternoon, whenever you happen to be watching this. So let's go ahead and dive in. You'll notice that we are doing session 7 this week, and I've already changed it to say asynchronous. I'll update this in just a little bit. You'll notice that I added some information on here. You have the video that you're watching now. You'll watch your video. There's a discussion. You have a Jamboard presentation page that we would have done in class and done presentations. You have an article you're going to be reading, and then you're going to start working on your research project. I promise you it's not going to be super stressful. I'm going to walk you through it, so don't freak out on me. It's going to be okay. All right, let's go on in and take a look. The first thing I wanted to share, a copy of the presentation I'm using tonight is going to be here. I've updated it for you guys. You have an article to read this week, and then you do have a discussion on online learning trends. You might want to do this after you've viewed this video and done the activities for this week so that you have an idea of more online learning trends that are out there. Be sure you answer all of the questions that are applicable to you. For example, if you've tried it in your classroom, or you haven't, just indicate that. But make sure that your post is at least 150 words so that you can really thoroughly discuss each of the questions. And also make sure that you respond to one other participant for full credit. So let's dive into the presentation. Let me pull that up. Here we go. So we're talking about current trends in online education. You have your discussion. We would have done this in class, but since we're asynchronous, that's the discussion I was telling you about. And then we would have done this in class and spent much of the class period doing this. So this is an activity that you're going to do online. You have an article. I've got a QR code out here to the article. I'll also put a link to the article in Blackboard as well. I'll try to remember to get that done for you guys. The link to the article is actually going to take you out to, here we go, this website. It is going to take you to an article that's going to discuss changes in the way that we teach students. This is post-secondary. It mentions post-secondary, but a lot of this is applicable to K-12 education as well. You're going to read through the entire article. It's going to talk about new demands, student expectations, all kinds of stuff. And then you're going to get down to 7 key elements. These are 7 trends that we see that are really big right now. So you'll see it starts with blended learning, and then it goes to collaborative approaches, et cetera, et cetera. OER and multimedia, you're going to learn about what that is, and I can share some information with you as well. OER is simply using open educational resources that are available and do not have copyright they may have restrictions under Creative Commons, but typically you can use it. Sometimes it'll tell you if you can, change or modify the work for your own purposes. But these are things that are free of charge for you to use. So things like the videos that we talked about when we evaluated video content in course 1. It may be online textbooks. I've got several of our courses. We're actually moving at the college that I work at in early childhood to completely OER resources for a couple of reasons. First of all, to be more current, and second of all, to save our students as much as $250 per textbook. So I really looked at it as a cost savings for our students, but then we also went to look at relevant information and more current information. And so that's OER. We're also going to look at student control, choice, and independence. And if you'll reflect back to UDL, that's certainly what we're talking about here. Scroll on through, but make sure you read the entire article. It's got great information in it. Then you'll notice we have a Jamboard. So what I want you to do is pick one of the trends. We've got 7 listed. I've added to the Jamboard gamification. That's not in the article you're going to be reading. So if you choose gamification, you may need to do some of your own research on that. But there are 3 questions I want you to answer when you do your Jamboard. So I got a link out here to the Jamboard, and I will show you where that is. you're going to see that I've created a page for each one of these topics that we're covering. And what I want you to do is pick a topic. If someone else has already started working on it, please move to another topic. You're going to pick one of these topics and you're going to share out in pictures and post-it notes and text, whatever it is you want to share, the big ideas around this particular online learning trend. Then the other thing I want you to do, you're going to share what is this trend, those big ideas, kind of describe it, what it means. Discuss how is it transforming teaching and learning. This is also included in that article, so make sure you scroll all the way down. You'll see this information in the article. And then implications and questions. This is also covered in the article, but if it brings up questions for you, you can also add that. So when I do this in class with students, I give my groups about 20 minutes to work on their presentation slide. You're going to each do one independently. And then I normally let my students present. But since we're not going to be in class tonight, you're doing this independently. Just make sure you go back when everyone finishes and read through what everyone had to post. You want to make sure that you have done that. So again, you're going to choose one of these topics. I will add a couple of other online trends that you may be interested in. I know gamification is one that I'm going to add, so that if you want to use that one to discuss what is it, how's it transforming teaching and learning, and what are some implications and questions, you can do that. All right, so there's your Jamboard. And I also wanted to tell you, in case you're wondering what I'm recording in, I'm actually recording in WebEx. It's a product made by Cisco. It's like Teams or Blackboard Collaborate or Zoom. It's a meeting software that we use at the college that I work at. So it's pretty nifty. I like to use it. I'm pretty familiar with it. It records easily, pretty high quality. I can upload an MP4 to YouTube and share a link, and it makes it super easy. We're going to skip our stretch break. We do have a couple of YouTube videos. I'm not going to actually click on those, but I do want you to click on them and watch them in the presentation. The reason I'm not going to click on them is because I'm recording. And when I'm recording, if I click on a YouTube video, it's going to get flagged as copyrighted material. So make sure you open up that presentation. You might want to pause me, open up the presentation, watch that video. Then there is also, we're going to talk about your action research. Again, I'm condensing all of this down very, very briefly for you. So your action research, that is going to be due in session 9. So you've got a few weeks to work on it. Those of you in Douglas County, I know you have a break coming up, third week in February, I believe. So you've got a little extra time to work on it as well. But what I want you to do is you're going to pick a current trend in online education and you're going to do some action research in your classroom or your school. You don't have to use a particular style. I'll show you the rubric in just a minute. It doesn't have to be, super fancy. I don't care about APA, MLA. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm going to walk you through the stages of that.